Welcome to another installment of Creative Solutions. I'm Travis Chapman.
I'm Kenneth Vaughn.
And today's topic is, what's ahead of you is greater than everything behind you. We have to give credit to Pastor Lance Watson out of Richmond, Virginia.
St. Paul's.
St. Paul's, for that particular quote. What's ahead of you is greater than everything behind you. In other words, your future is brighter and will outshine your past. So go ahead and lead in to this conversation as we begin this discussion about the future of our students, our teachers, and our administrators.
One of the things I just wanted to go through, and we'll start off with this particular segment talking about personal stories. A whole lot of times, the reason why I have such a great relationship with the students is because I see their struggle, because it's reflective of where I came from. I'm reminded all the time that, and I'll tell the story all the time, I didn't have a whole lot of money coming up. But what my mom taught me and what my grandfather said to me at an early age was you had to have a solid work ethic.
Right.
And while I did not have running water, we didn't have electricity at times, we had a perspective about where our future was.
Right.
So those current conditions didn't shackle my future.
Right.
Because sometimes you're like, I grew up in poverty and that's all we know. No, that's not it.
Right.
If you are aggressive about what you want to become, then what you do is you set foundation. So my grandfather just told me the importance of work ethic, and when I started going to school, I took school seriously because I saw that as a passageway towards success. So I went from renting, living in houses, not having money, to now we're at a point where we own multiple houses. And I'm not bragging or boasting, I'm just saying to students, I'm just saying to educators is your future worth fighting for?
Right.
Because if it's worth fighting for you, it can't outshine your past.
Right.
But the importance of it is learning from that particular moment.
Right. Right. And growing up, I went through a lot of different struggles. I saw a lot of things occur within my family. And even going through those particular struggles and those obstacles, I just felt innately that I was special. I just knew that there was something, that I was going to touch people somehow, some way, some form. And I looked at the work ethic of my grandfather on the farm. And I looked at the work ethic of my father, making sure that he provided for his family. And as I encountered different obstacles and barriers as a child, I was sickly at one point, almost died. And then just trying to compete, as I shared in previous installments, trying to compete with my older brothers. It's hard when you're trying to fill the shoes of people that you deem and respect at a greater level. And so just running after them, it's like a little child trying to keep up with the father. The father has more experiences, is bigger, stronger, faster. You're a little child and you're trying to do everything in your ability to keep up with the father. And you know that one day you're going to be as great as your father, but at that particular moment you're trying to keep up with your father. And that's how I felt coming up. I knew that I had greatness in me. And all the obstacles and the barriers and the hurdles that I had to overcome, they were temporary. They were just temporary obstacles. And so as I move through my life, I'm able to use those experiences to obviously provide the wisdom to move through the darker areas that come about. Those hurdles, those obstacles, and those barriers, to move through those and be successful.
One of the things I talked to one of the great friends over in APS just about 2 weeks ago, and we talked a little bit about not being content with being average.
Yeah.
Right? And it's one of the things that I wish I could get our kids to kind of understand it, because your success has to be predicated on you saying, I'm not like them.
Right.
This situation where I'm at right now ain't me. It's the moment that I'm in, and that I'm moving forward past it. So shout outs to Natasha for reminding us about the importance of not being content with being average, because we are at a place where we are as educators, right? We're at a place where we are as leaders because we have not been content with meeting the status quo. The status quo says, check this off, I evaluated you, get out of here. The grades are fine, we close the gap by this minimal percentage, but we haven't changed people's lives. So I think one of the things that pushes us is that we're not content with the status quo. We're not content with just sitting in our positions. We feel compelled to lead. And because of that feeling, we move past what average people would do.
And we are going to dig deeper into the educational sense of this topic a little bit later. But again, pulling on my personal experience, when I say great, I knew that I was going to be great. I'm speaking it into existence. I'm not at the level that I desire to be at yet. And I'm not tooting my own horn. But what I am saying, you have to see yourself as you're going to be, not as you currently are. And so I see myself as great, because I know that innately there's been greatness placed in me, okay? Whether you believe in God or not, I believe that greatness has been placed in me, that God has done so, my experience has done so, my family has done so, and using what's innately inside of me, I feel like I'm on a path to greatness. I feel like I'll be able to touch lives and change courses and shift individuals' paradigms to a new level of thinking. All right? So that's in me. So based on my experiences, I know that, let's take for example, the taller you build a building, all right, the deeper the foundation has to be. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're building a structure that is certain 100 feet up in the air, all right, you need to go deeper. All right? So with the home, you don't have to go as deep, because the structure is not as tall. It doesn't need as much support as a tall building, a skyscraper. However, so being that I went through certain barriers and obstacles and those different experiences, the depth of those experiences, you understand what I'm saying? It's the depth of those experiences that allows me to know now that greatness is in my future.
That you're building on.
Oh, yes.
I got it.
You got it. Hold on to it. Don't shout. Don't shout. So, do you want to close out there? I think that's a good spot to close out, because we're going to come back with the part 2 and the part 3 talking about students, teachers, and administrators.
Got it.
All right, so hang on to your seats. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us. We're Creative Solutions. I'm Travis Chapman.
I'm Kenneth Vaughn.